Hey guys, welcome to another NGS cast. I'm your host, Northern Touch, and today we have some action in the A division. We've got Easy Blues and the Soakers versus OnePunchMonk, Return to Monk. I know a bunch of players on both these teams. I've had many of these players play with me, even be on my team in the past from both these teams. So exciting personal matchup for me. And excited to get into it. Just getting the lobby set up now. In terms of where the teams are in the standings currently, switch over. Easy Blue and the Soakers has 15 points, eight games won, 1 game lost, and OnePunchMonk has 9 points with 5 games won, 2 games lost. But obviously, Easy Blue has already played their flex match, and I believe both teams got a domination for one of the teams actually disbanding. In terms of map bans and that sort of thing, Easy Blue banned D-Shire as well as Volskaya, and OnePunchMonk banned Alterac and Cursed Hollow. So it looks like a lot of the bigger maps are off the table. And of course, we're going to Towers of Doom. Towers of Doom always has some interesting strategies. It is the comeback map. So always one of the most exciting maps to cast. I had a game I picked up last night in the B division, and it was a pretty epic comeback on Towers of Doom. No lead is safe, and lots of cool different strategies, whether it be cheese with Abathur or Samuro, Genji, maybe a 1-1-3 with maybe a global soaking mid, like a Falstad. You got all sorts of different strategies you can employ on this. I've seen Hammer before. There's all sorts of cool stuff. Hoku in the chat saying, "Let's go Monk." Make sure you leave your comments in the chat, and I'll try to read as many as I can. Still getting set up here, just waiting for a couple of them to join, and then we'll get started. Yeah, like I said, this tends to be a smaller map. So you can do like a 1-4 with a double soaker. I see a lot of teams going for somebody to go and soak mid and then come back down, which makes some faster rotations because the lanes are very short. And there's honestly vision control is pretty big because there are not a lot of bushes on the way down, and it's really easy to get ganked on the way down if a team is smart and sets up. I got Crizzo in the chat. Welcome, my team captain. My captain. Both these teams are kind of near the top of the division right now, so hopefully this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Both, I know, have some pretty aggressive playstyles every now and again, and yeah, it's going to be a fun one for sure. It's always fun watching Towers games. I don't know if it's my favorite map to play. I tend to like ones with a lot more to do, but Towers is definitely the most fun to watch. And of course, a lot of other interesting maps on the table for after this as well. We've got both 2-lane options, Braxis and BOE up, Garden, Infernal, Sky Temple, and then Tomb. A little bit heavy on the macro side in terms of those, or you get a 2-lane map option. So whatever team loses gets to decide whether or not they're going to get first pick or they're going to get map pick after. And yeah, looks like we're ready to go. And we're just getting started now.
Towers of Doom.
So, Towers of Doom draft. I think you're going to expect some the regular meta bans, stuff like Junkrat is really good on this map. Genji is really good on this map for ganking the off lane. Generally, vision control is really good. And then any kind of siege potential you want. There's a lot of teams that will prioritize globals to help top lane to invade camps and that sort of thing as well. Siege is good, but this is one of the few maps where the towers actually respawn. So towers aren't permanent. Other things that are decent on this map compared to other maps, Stitches is really good for pulling people into positions that they wouldn't want to be in, including into your base. And then like a False Stat is very good for gusting people in as well. We see the Brightwing ban, and we have a White Mane ban. So both teams prioritizing banning out healers early. White Mane is not a typical ban, so we know that their healer, I'm guessing this game will probably be Danalore, is a excellent White Mane player. Diablo ban. Diablo provides really good charge options, gets really healthy later in the game. There you see the Junkrat. Like I said, Junkrat provides a lot of vision. Really good at clear, can be an anchor bottom if the team wants to roam as 3 and leave Junkrat down bottom. Blaze, very popular meta pick. Really good double soak, really good defensive options with a bunker. And then Dahaka with the global option, also really good double soak, good engage, and of course the global to get down to the shrines or pick advantageous team fights. Sometimes during camp invades, and sometimes just leading the charge ahead if Blaze doesn't get it down there quick enough. And then Johanna, probably the most popular meta tank right now. Really good wave clear, really good everything except for really counter dive. A lot of damage. The Unstoppable is really good. There's not much to complain about with Johanna. OnePunchMonk, gonna look for a Vala here and a Stukov. Vala, consistent damage. It'd be interesting to see what build gets taken into the Johanna with a blind. Johanna is definitely going to be taking blind at level 1, so gets the double blind. Stukov is always hard to play into, especially on smaller maps. You see the ban out here. Mephisto can get a lot of value, especially late game if it gets skilled enough. And Johanna and Dahaka usually don't pressure Mephisto too hard and can get whittled down by the percentage damage that Mephisto provides. Probably seeing maybe another healer ban. Oh, here's the Tychus. Bans the Tychus into easy blues. And Tychus, of course, decent wave clear. The Odin's really good. Anduin, the light bomb shield combo with Johanna is very good. Would also work well with Genji if they do play it on this map. But we see a Greymane, good blow up. It's going to have a lot of protection there with the Johanna sitting in front. And of course, they have a lot of blow up option with the Johanna shield into the Anduin light bomb with the Greymane bullet. A lot of health lost all at once. Still probably looking for a main tank on the side of inside of OnePunchMonk here. They're going the double healer, Stukov, Uther, so Uther main tank, and you have a Sonya in as well. Sonya, I'm guessing will be in the 4-man, and they've got Leap, they've got a lot of CC with the Blaze charge, of course Uther stun, the Stukov follow-up. Vala's going to be the hyper carry in that scenario, and yeah, really good at team fighting. And there's the Falstad. Falstad works really well with the 1-1-3 setup. Falstad gets to stay mid, help Dahaka soak. They have a double global, so they can fly around to wherever they want. They can also invade camps or do ganks. There's a lot of options in terms of Falstad, as well as really good disengage, as well as an engage if you gust them into the right spot on this map, and there's quite a few of them. Just heading on into the game now. So, on the blue team, we have Eternally Blue on Johanna, Kal-El on Anduin, Gingy Boy on Falstad, Shrinks on Dahaka, and we have Easy K on the Greymane. And then on OnePunchMonk side, we have Danalore on the Stukov. We got Fane on the Blaze. Random Task on the Sonya. We have Can't Get Right on the Vala. And H2O on the Uther. So, interesting comp from the red team. They're going to have a lot of clear. They're going to have a lot of CC. And then blue team is probably going to try to let Gingy Boy soak mid for most of the game and get ahead on macro and just not fight that much bot. There's the tongue right on the Sonya right away. Big blow up, but Sonya's still spinning out and a lot of counter damage there. Easy K down to almost nothing, Shrinks almost at nothing, and Eternally Blue at nothing. That is the problem brawling into a double healer comp with the Uther Stukov. They're really good at counter engage, and as soon as Random Task got the spin off, there wasn't a lot of CC for Random Task there, and there won't be a lot of CC until level 10 when they get the Light Bomb and the shield combo. Blue going in and getting that globe. And just makes it out. Just barely is going to have to back there. A lot of pressure here from the Greymane, and Falstad is sitting bot in this setup. So I guess in this setup, Easy K is doing the 1-1-3 strat, and they're looking for Easy K on this rotation. Big stun, can't get right following up. Easy K has to try to dive out, but does not get out. Sonya's starting the camp, and blue team, the Blues are starting their camp as well. It's going to be quite a bit of soak lost here if blue cannot come up and get this. Yeah, almost 2/3 of a level at this point. And here's the vision control, double globe for OnePunchMonk. Both teams are going to try to push into these pumpkins while you have Easy K still pushing mid. So Blue's going to try to conserve as much as possible down here, try to prevent these pumpkins get in before Easy K comes down. They're looking at Random Task, but Random Task gets out. It's going to be, I think it's going to be kind of a rough go for Blue pretty early here. There's just until 10, and with the CC, they're kind of stuck clearing, so they want to just get up as even on macro as they can. They're watching on the way down. Blue setting up to try to delay the rotation. And there's a stun on Blue and the dive on Can't Get Right, the hyper carry. You see Shrinks comes down, misses the tongue, a big stun, and Random Task goes into the back line and takes down the Falstad. Another stun on Easy K. Managed to get his way on his way out. Random Task is zoning out Blue and the Anduin. And red is currently channeling, but blue gives them the cheeky delay. Easy K's there as well. Really low. Random Task is off here a little bit by himself, but has healers coming in. Gingy Boy flies in, looks at Random Task, really low, and Shrinks, digs down, looks for the tongue, but it looks like they're going to have to give this up. Blue is very low. Like I said, brawling early into this this style of comp is going to be really difficult. But this is a really good comeback map, so we'll have to see what happens at level 10 with the ults. Red doing a lot of rotations mid, looking for this gray main, making sure they get the double soak. They know they're going to keep 3 bottom here. It's trying to control vision as much as possible. The gray main is staying mid and just being a nuisance, and both teams are going to go after their camp now. Look at the Uther there, but Uther just gets away. And the pumpkins meet just far enough that they don't come in right in and hit some towers. And of course the Vala's gone auto attack and is at 40 stacks. Uther is at 57 with the hammer quest, and then 71 for Falstad. The Falstad's stacking pretty well here. H2O looking for the bush. Can't get right. His zoning out shrinks up top. Got a miss stun by Fane. Dane looking to channel. Stall by Blue. A big damage onto that Johanna. Look again for the tongue, but the tongue misses. Shrinks is getting out, and Danalore is finishing the channel. Level 10's online here soon for OnePunchMonk. Looks like Blues are looking to gank the Blaze before 10, and they get it. Meanwhile, OnePunch is sieging this down. They're probably going to get rotated on behind, and they do have 5 here because the Falstad will be able to get down here. Eternal Blue gets dove on top of, but gets out, and Easy Blues is looking to regain some of the macro that they lost with the camp and getting mid pushed in. But the wall went down bottom. So OnePunchMonk returns to middle to alleviate some of the soak, and will look to catch anybody in rotation. They got Easy K right there, but no direct follow-up. Kal-El is stunned. Dive in the backline from Easy K. The shield out on the Sonya. Sonya gets out, and they are able to live with getting that Anduin kill. And now they're looking to invade this camp as well, because they're missing an Anduin. Falstad now doing a little bit of the double soak, and you've got Dahaka down below looking for tongues. Grabs the Sonya. Sonya gets dove on. You see the light bomb just catches. The Falstad flies down looking for a gust. They're looking at the Vala, the hyper carry, tongue on the Sonya. Blue is getting low, but is still on the front line. And random task. Oh, Gingy flies over the wall looking for random task, but random task counters. If it got the initial blow up right away, might have been able to kill him, but without it, the spin on top just kept him healthy enough. They're looking at Fane again for this gank. They don't have Falstad, but Falstad will get up faster because he is a global. Meanwhile, Red is taking their camp. Still a lot of damage done to the bot lane. Blue is going to have to come down and manage this, and now you've got 2 globals probably in the off lanes looking to get even up this soak battle while One Punch is going to push in with their camp and with 13s. Wouldn't be surprised if this fort goes down, but Easy Blues is stepping up. And you see all the shots get in and just a bit of health. A big shield onto the back line. They're looking at, can't get right. The light bomb was a little bit delayed from the actual shield. And you have Shrinks coming in, looking for that tongue. Still looking for it. Grabs the Uther. Uther's silenced. Uther's really low, but gets the D-shield off on the self. There's the gust out and the pull out. Both teams survive with most of the ults going down. Still got bullet up, but everything else is down. And then you've got Shrinks up here. It looks like Red might be looking to invade here. At least stall. And the tongue on the Blaze. Blaze is kind of in no man's land. Does not have bunker. And there's the shield. There's the light bomb. A better combo this time. They're looking at the Stukov. But they're probably going to have to back out and channel and look towards their camp. Falstad flies down bot to get bot soak. Make sure that that fort doesn't go down for free. And we'll see what Easy Blues does with this advantage. So, Pumpkins are rolling in. We're looking at H2O. Big dive on them. But again, the D shield is a great counter engage. You've got Sonya lurking right above this. And the Blaze came down as well, but chose to go back to soak. Red is 16. They probably want to look at 16 before engaging in another fight here. There's a shield. They're looking at that Sonya. Sonya dives in the back line to get out of the light bomb, but heals up like crazy on top of Easy Blues. And now One Punch has 16 advantage for at least a couple more seconds, and they'll look to take their camp. This is one of those scenarios where you're going to have at least somebody clear the pumpkins while they're stalling bottom, and then probably you're going to have both offlaners just trade each other's temples. But of course, Dahaka gets the advantage of being able to come down quicker than Blaze. So yeah, they're going to have to both clear and stall.
The time is now.
See Blue doing a little bit of both, clearing, stalling. That's exactly where they want to be. They don't want to get that camp pushed in. And there's the Dahaka, pulls in Danelore, but Danelore gets out. They're looking at Random Task, but Random Task gets a spin out. Big gust. They're going to finish the channel bot. Disengages down with the gust down, and Shrinks is going to look to get out. Is kind of between the team, but there's the pull. The stun onto Blue with the double pull. Great pulls by the Anduin, and they managed to make their way out. Pretty even game so far. Looking to finish this fort where they only see 3. Eternally Blue had to back. Oh, big stun onto the Greymane, and Greymane goes down. Natural combo they can kind of pull off any time if Easy Blues is not ready. They're going to invade the camp here, push this in. This is a lot of pressure bottom. Gingy Boy has to go back, and then Easy Blues is going to have to start defending bottom here. because don't want to get these pumpkins pushed in. Right now, Easy Blues is up in terms of core damage, but definitely down in terms of map control and in terms of structure. But structure can always get retaken. And these pumpkins dangerously close to coming in, but both of them get cleared. And this kind of forces them to go through this corridor here because they cannot go through the fort. Red's going to go back down and set up, and they're going to look to brawl over this objective. Red could even think about giving this one and waiting till 20, honestly. They're looking for Fane. Fane pops bunker right away. Big stun into Shrinks in the back line. A lot of damage taken early on for Easy Blues. Anduin is in a rough spot here, kind of trapped between two bruisers, but ends up getting the light bomb off. I don't know how. Anduin is still up, but eventually goes down. Dahaka digs in, looking for the tongue. And this is going to be a channel for the red team OnePunchMonk. And no healer for Easy Blues, so it's going to be kind of difficult for them to siege back down this tower without consistent healing. At this point, you're probably just trying to wait till 20 if you're Easy Blues, and you see Greymane look up here. Maybe they look to gank. Do they know? There's the ping. They're looking at Fane. There's the tongue. There's the dive. There's a camp stolen, and Fane's down. Meanwhile, down below, Eternally Blue, I think, must have blown Unstoppable. The Gus couldn't save him, so 1-for-1 trade, and you got the pumpkins rolling down. And they have about the amount of time that wave is going to go down to stop them from going in, but there goes one right there. So blue team soaking out mid here. They might be looking for gank again, but Sonya is definitely going very safe way, while red team is owning these bottom camps. And we'll try to push this in. I'd expect to see Gingy Boy sit here and try to clear this, but it's going to be difficult for Easy Blues again to get to these objectives. They only have the one corridor to go in, or they come in through mid. So they're getting set up early. They're still missing their Johanna, and we'll see if they end up going through the middle right there. They get the pumpkins cleared.
The time is now.
Johanna's going safe way. Fane came through the mid tunnel. Oh, Johanna comes through mid tunnel too. They're looking at Fane. Fane has to pop bunker. Silence onto the back line, but Shrinks is in no man's land. Tries to get out. Looks for the tongue. Gets pulled. Gust with wind tunnel, and that's AOE Divine Shield. Big counter engage with that AOE Divine Shield. And I think some of the CC went off just as the Gust went out, which kind of made a little bit of anti-synergy there for Eternal Blue. And you see red channeling bottom, and blues are gonna have to. They're looking here, but they might be in some trouble. They know that the one channeled bottom, but this is gonna be a 5-on-4 here in a second, and everybody's running out. This could be game here. They're looking at boss. Boss is getting pinged. It's gonna force blue and the soakers to come in here, and the swipe seals it down to 0. And that's GG. So first game goes to OnePunchMonk. And we'll look at the game summary here. We have I'll just update the score here. So OnePunchMonk is up 1-0. I believe Easy Blues did pick that map, so OnePunchMonk did win the map that Easy Blues picked. Easy Blues now gets to choose between map or first pick as being the team that lost. In terms of damage, the Hyper Carry Vala did a lot. Sonya actually did a lot, being able to spin on Easy Blue on the Soakers without a lot of CC besides the Johanna shield and light bomb, but Sonya was able to get a lot of spin out in terms of soak. Dahaka, a bunch of soak, but really lots of soak picked up by the red team in general. And then healing. I guess we're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. I will just pick that up. We'll go back to map view, and looks like okay, so Tomb of the Spider Queen. Okay, so Tomb of the Spider Queen tends to be a very macro-heavy map. Characters that do double soaking, characters that clear wave really well, like any kind of mage. Junkrat, of course, very good at the vision control in the bushes and the traps. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different gameplay as opposed to the previous game, just because the rotations are really quick. You've got especially the bush top and mid that are the tanks are going to want to control a lot to enable rotations, to stall rotations, and then getting a lot of soak from off lane is really good as well. You want to make sure that you control turn-ins, make sure your team control turn in, make sure the other team can't turn in, and then to turn in at the right time. If you turn in too early, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. If your lanes are pushed in and you end up turning in, you might not get a lot of value out of your turn-in. Turn-in can be wasted in that way, and getting, let's say, like the mid-camp out as a defense for our turn-in is always really good as well. Both teams just getting ready here.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Heading into draft. You've got a Greymane ban from OnePunchMonk. They didn't like the blow up the last game. Still trying to ban out Danalore's Whitemane. The Tychus ban, they might be looking for a Diablo or something that Tychus counters. Tychus is actually a pretty good auto attacker for wave clear and that sort of thing. There's the Junkrat. Like I said, Junkrat is really good about controlling the vision in those bushes, as well as the clear is pretty unmatched. Blaze, just a generally good tank, good at double soak, good defensive ult with the bunker. Still have the Johanna up. Brightwing is up. Anduin is up. A lot of good options. Got Rhaegar and Vala. Vala look to stack this game, and Rhaegar really good AoE healer. The Ancestral is really good burst heal as well at 10. There's the Johanna and Anduin. That's going to be a pretty beefy front line with a Blaze Johanna, and the Anduin has a light bomb follow-up to whatever stun that comes out from Joe or Blaze. Again, we see a Mephisto ban. This is a decent map for Mephisto. You get a lot of value, kind of warping into the Tribush, and of course, especially late game, it's very good. The Diablo ban for OnePunchMonk as well. Interesting, the Tychus ban as well as a Diablo ban back to back. There's a variant in a Hogger. Hogger really good at double soak, can get out of most ganks. The variant, of course, good blow up, is going to be pretty good into Johanna. You have the Anduin pull, but the Anduin pull can get baited out as well. So it'll be interesting. Of course, variant isn't really much of a tanky boy until after level 4. And then we see a Sergeant Hammer and Chromie, so a lot of range siege damage. They have a really thick front line with the Johanna Blaze, and they're going to have Hammer and Chromie, which are going to be doing a lot of siege damage, and it's going to force Easy Blues to push past and get on top of the Chromie and Hammer. It'll be interesting also to see what ult Chromie ends up taking, whether it's Slowing Sands, whether it's the Rewind. I'm guessing it'll be Slowing Sands just for the control for Hammer, but we'll have to see. And there's the Tassadar. Tassadar is a really good counter into Sergeant Hammer with the with all the spells can get dropped right on top of Hammer, and Hammer's not going to get moved much as well. Like Psionic Storm kind of gets doubled up if you want by casting Storm, hitting your Q, and then Storm again. So, but Hammer and Chromie are going to provide a lot of pressure, that is for sure. It'll be interesting to see where they place Hammer and where they go on the map. So, going into game 2, OnePunchMonk, Return to Monk is up 1-0. And let's see. On the blue team, we have Gingy Boy on Tassadar, Eternal Blue on the Vala, Kal-El on the Rhaegar. We've got Shrinks on the Hogger and Easy K on the Varian. And then on the red team, we have Feyna on the Blaze. We have H2O on the Johanna. Random Tasks on the Hammer. Can't Get Right on the Chromie. And Danalore on the Anduin. And we have a pause. Okay, I guess the Chromie skin was actually banned, a banned skin, but Easy K, or sorry, Eternal Blue and the Soakers don't seem to care. So back in game.
3, 2, 1, go! Kill!
Random task gets set up right away at the start. This is going to be a lot of siege damage from OnePunchMonk here. And the Vala ended up going W build. The Varian took Q at 1. Of course, Varian can't do much before level 4, so they're just going to look to clear as much as they possibly can. Random Task is going through and getting set up pretty early on these camps, is controlling vision with the mines. The one thing though is in order to control, oh there you go, H2O has to go in deep to get those gems and goes down for it. So early death on the Johanna. Random Task is set up here and they might look to gank, but I guess one of the problems is that with a backline that is such a far backline, you do force your Johanna to have to dive in for those gems in order to get the gems to turn in. And that kind of screwed over the Johanna at the start there. You see them walking through from that mine in the bush. A lot of vision control here with the Chromie trap, with the mines. EZK looking to get an early turn. Really waiting for that level 4 to get that taunt out. Looking for as much damage as possible on that backline to whittle them down. And you see the Johanna stepping up again for that, for those gems. And there's a trap in the bush, gets 2 of them. They're looking to taunt, but gets pushed back. Big taunt on Random Task. But the pull and they're out. Still a lot of wave here to clear top. And allows them to get all those gems and get pushed out. Right now, 39 gems to 35. So blue is picking up a few more gems than One Punch right now. And then you see they've sent the Vala and the Rhaegar to the camp. They definitely have a better camp clear than One Punch. Down below, pretty standard off lane. They're looking up top. EZK did blow taunt there. Be up in another 6 seconds. They look to clear top and then push this down with mid. And they're using this for turn in. EZK's got 18. It's quite a big turn in. Blue's gonna get 6 in. Looks like they're using their camp mostly to get this turn in. But look at Fane bot. Fane managed to charge out. This will allow Shrinks to turn in probably. Yup, just misses the delay. Easy Blues is still gonna have to clear this camp though. It's a pretty healthy camp. And Johanna is clearing top. So yeah, the waves are pushed pretty far in, but they have some time to clear out. They looked at the Chromie, but decided to back out, not a full taunt. And there you can see the extra Psionic Storm on top of the hammer when you Q. And that's really going to hurt. There's a big taunt onto Joe. And Gingy Boy is just hammering that Sergeant Hammer. A lot of damage going in. Got the wall down already. Nobody's defending top. Like to see them at least send one of their 2 backliners up here, because this is going to be a rough rotation. So there's second wall down. Again, Random Task doesn't have a lot of places to move, and Gingy Boy keeps on just hitting Psionic Storms. There's a rewind, so it's rewind on Gingy Boy. They look at him, they back up. HP2O is kind of out, trying to follow up on that kill. Fane looking to come in, stun on Gingy Boy, but Unstoppable managed to just get out with a small sliver of health. They're all super low. Time trap. They look at the stun and goes down, and a few gems as well. Red team does have turn in right now. Hogger managed to take bot camp while all this was happening. It's going to be more pressure. So basically half of mid fort is gone for red, half of top fort, and then all the walls. Pretty successful turn in for first turn in for the blue team, but not a lot of gems left. They're going to try to prevent turn in here, and random task or feign is probably the best to turn in. Otherwise they have to have multiple. And then you got Danelord just gets the turn in. They look at the Chromie, but Chromie just gets out. Easy K looks for the taunt on Chromie, but his team is too far back. 5-man, the stun for peeling. And there's the rewind on Easy K. Feign looking low, and you have Falling Sword from the Johanna. So no shield. And a big cast onto the back line. You see Anduin go down. Gingy Boy is getting a lot of damage off this game, but is stuck in place, and it gets another one. Crazy amount of damage there from Gingy Boy, and is just getting out of these fights by the skin of his teeth. Again, look at that amount of damage on that hammer. They go up top and they're looking to clear. Oh, they looked for the taunt on Can't Get right there on the Chromie, but Chromie just gets out. And overall, very successful clear. Didn't even get top towers. Got one tower bot. And gems are pretty equal now. While Easy Blue and the Soakers is a level up. They're going to have Hogger look at the camp, and they're going to look to soak out bot, or at least to try to turn in bot. Meanwhile, the OnePunchMonk is going to look to turn in top here pretty soon, I'm guessing. Nope, they're taking out the camp as well. So about 5 away, I think, for Easy Blue and the Soakers. Just need a couple more gems. That wave ought to do it if they all turn in. Easy K is going to turn in. Gingy Boy is going to turn in. Is there anybody left to turn in? Nope. Gingy Boy just has to turn in here. And they get everything in. So here comes second Web Reaver. There is a camp heading mid, but it can't. There's time to clear it before the Web Reavers actually land here.
My web weavers descend upon the red team.
And I don't think this fort is long for this world. Easy K getting a bunch of damage hit on him, but is okay. Looks for the taunt. And there's the Ancestral. But this fort is most likely going down. Top fort is going down for sure. They might be able to hang on to bottom fort, but it is 13s right now for Eternally Blue and the Soakers. Oh, Easy Blue and the Soakers, sorry. That is always going to mess me up. And they use the 13s to rotate and take all forts. Meanwhile, OnePunchMonk has turn in. They're going to probably look to turn in top. 33 on the Chromie here. And you got Hogger getting the bounces bottom. And there's the Tassadar Vision. Yet at 13. So they are able to scout these turn-ins now. And a lot of pressure bottom here, especially with this camp. Only 3 left to turn in. They're looking at random task. Random task gets pulled out. Hogger dives in, but nothing doing. And now you see the gank squad is roaming quite a bit. They are very mobile. And they're looking at the boss, starting the boss early. They don't have a talent tier advantage. EZK does get booped out pretty hard by that tornado. But it's going to be hard for them to invade. So they're basically trading boss for turn-in, it looks like. Yep. They're looking for Feign, taunt on Feign. And there's a unstoppable on Gingy Boy, so it doesn't go back through the time loop. Lots of damage on random task again. EZK diving, looking at Johanna. And this is going to be, if there's no deaths on blue's side, there's going to be kind of a wasted turn in here. So red is going to try to at least dive with this and use this for some sort of engage. But Feign dives in, immediately has to bunker, pull is used. And this wave is getting less and less healthy the farther it has to go. Bottom is about half. They're going to send Hogger down for that, and then the rest of Easy Blue is going to roll up top, and they should be able to clear this pretty safely as they've just hit 16. And that's going to force red to back off. Like I said before the game, when you turn is pretty huge, simply because you might not be able to get any value out of your turn-in, and so far structures are looking really healthy for Easy Blue and the Soakers. They're looking at the invade here. Hogger dives on the back line. They're looking at Chromie. Chromie stuck behind. It's definitely going to get blown up here, and they take that camp. Good job on Easy Blue and the Soakers using the 16 advantage to get something out of that. And they have a while with the 16s and a 5v4 to push. Danalore is stuck very hard with that wall and the amount of damage that came out. Gingy Boy using that Archon, trying to get out as much siege as possible with their advantage currently. And they almost have a turn-in pretty soon here too. They're just 10 off. So they're going to back out, look to get this top wave, look to get this bottom wave, get all the gems they missed. EZK just going out, trying to get as many gems as possible. It's got 24 though, does not want to get hit. Is pretty safe though without a lot of actual engage because it's a light bomb and a falling sword. I would feel pretty safe there too as the Varian. And see, try to bait out the, okay, looks at the Varian, time loop, but Varian has, oh, dive onto random task. The Blaze has to pop bunker. The Blaze is going to be stuck there. The light bomb goes off. Feign is really low, but gets the stun back in. Rhaegar gets blown up. Damage everywhere. The backline for red is super low, but manages to get out. It is a two deaths to 1 death, and that's going to allow Easy Blue and the Soakers to turn back in. As well, these camps have been pushing and they're getting work done, so all the lanes are getting pushed in. Eternally Blue stepping up. They're definitely going to be taking out this this mid keep with the amount of time that they have. See if they want more. They are diving past. EZK does have it protected. Oh, they got a wall on the Chromie, but Chromie gets to live. EZK is looking pretty low right now. It's a long time before those spiders come down, that's for sure. And there's pressure all over the map. The spider here gets cleared. You might see Easy Blue and the Soakers just stay here though. Or they decide to push bot with it. They're about to be 20. They can basically siege any lane they want right after this. And yeah, there's the 20. There's a rewind, but nothing happening. And yeah, they're going to continue to siege down here. Their tank is actually clearing top currently. The rest of the team is down bottom. They're kind of using Blaze as the tank. And let's see. I think it's possible that Easy Blue and the Soakers force boss here. Which, with a really low keep, this might be a win condition. But of course, boss throw pit. It looks like it's just a bait for boss. You're looking at random task, using the 20s, and can't get right. Gets in the bunker, but they're all really low. H2O goes down. Fane goes down. Danelore is about to go down. And that's should be GG. We're going to head into top keep, and they have a lot of time on core. So, good job on Easy Blue and the Soakers. Definitely controlled all the turn-ins during that. I think it was really hard for Red Team to go and get those gems early on, and the fights were gonna be interesting because you got a really heavy front line, but the front line can still get blown up. There's still a lot of damage on Easy Blue's side. So I'm gonna update the score. And we'll see where we're heading next. In terms of damage, Vala, the hyper carry with top damage, Hammer, Tassadar, it wasn't as high on damage, but definitely was lighting up that Hammer and forcing that Hammer to move, which definitely takes down the Hammer damage and forces a lot less siege of the Hammer as well. You see the Tassadar ended up doing more siege damage than the Hammer. Healing, Rhaegar just a little bit above the Anduin. And then I was like self-healing Varian, getting a lot of value out of his parry. So go back to map view. We are 1-1. Easy Blue and the Soakers just won that map. OnePunchMonk won on towers. And we will see where we're heading next. Yeah, it looked like a very different map from Easy Blue. They did pick that one as well, and they definitely had a lot of control, even though there was a lot of siege potential and a lot of potential to keep that backline alive and just hammer. Hammer figuratively and literally Easy Blue's team. But I'd say the task did a really good job on controlling Sergeant Hammer during that. And we're heading to an entirely different type of map. We're heading to Battlefield of Eternity. So, BOE, entirely different playstyle. You can have lots of blow-up comps. You can even have slow siege comps. You can play defensive comps, but team fighting is kind of the name of the game. No matter what you do, you definitely want to make sure you have a good team fight. A lot of teams go for blow-up type characters like the Greymanes, the Li Mings. Artanis gets some value here. Anything that is also good at burning down the Immortal is very good. Just getting everybody into the lobby. Yeah, I would. There's I really like the Varian play as well that last game, so that's a pretty decent option on this map. But you can set up defensively on this map. You don't have to race necessarily. You can be defensive and even have like a kind of similar comp to what OnePunchMonk had in the game 1, where you have like a double healer and hyper carry comp. That works okay if you play a bit defensive, and because the name of the game is to usually kill the other team and then to get as much damage on the immortal as possible. You can have options where you slow siege them in or race them and force them to clear top or bot, but it's generally not as effective as other 3-lane maps and that sort of thing. Looks like everybody's in lobby and we're just getting ready here. Blue doing a lot of map picks and all sorts of different types of maps. The Tomb, BOE, Towers, all sorts of different player styles. We're heading into draft. If the Greymane was getting banned out in previous games, I wouldn't be surprised if Greymane gets banned here as well. Greymane, good for burn, good for blow up, generally good at team fight, so that might be a ban opportunity, but we'll see. Probably have two of the teams with the 2 longest names in the division. Easy Blue and the Soakers versus OnePunchMonk, Return to Monk. I don't think I've seen many teams with a lot longer names play each other. You got the Vala ban. Vala, very good on this map. Going Q build. Again, white main ban. White main, really good in team fights, and obviously they're trying to ban that out from Danalore, who's played, I think, a lot of white main. There's the Greymane ban. Like I said, Greymane good at race, good at team fight, good on the map, and a Junkrat ban. Junkrat just a generally annoying hero, good on most maps, and can do kind of like a slow siege in, good for clear. Basically makes it can boop camps into under your towers. See early Hogger. Hogger can do there's a couple spins where Hogger can spin on the objective and ends up being pretty good. And of course, really good clear. Lots of good dive. You got the Blaze as well as the Li Ming. Li Ming, blow up hero. Not as much wave clear is required, so she gets a lot more value on this map. And of course, Blaze is a good defensive tank as well as offensive tank with the stuns. The bunkers are always good with team play as well. There's a Diablo and a Brightwing. So Diablo's going to look to dive into the backline into the Li Ming. Brightwing generally is great for the poly. Really good heals, good burst heals. Good against spell damage like the Li Ming, so a decent counter to the Li Ming currently. A lot of dive potential out of OnePunchMonk right now. Again, we see the Mephisto ban, just something they don't want to play into. Tychus ban. Tychus very good into Diablo, good into Hogger as well. Just gets to sit there and shred them with percentage damage. Not the best racer, but decent. And you see Hanzo. Hanzo's really good for burn. Provides also arrow, and which is a good stun. Anduin, another stun option, as well as the pull. generally a top tier healer, so both top tier healers are off the board. Diablo might have a little bit of field day because it is a little bit squishy on the backline for Easy Blue. And then you see Urel, Genji, so they're going hard all dive. That said, there's not exactly what I would call a lot of race. This is going to be a team fight dive comp. There's not a lot of clear if they end up losing the objective. We see ETC. ETC is going to look to both peel the Diablo on the Diablo charge, as well as peel all this dive coming in the back line. The stun is going to be really good too. This is just going to be all about surviving the dive, get in the bunker, and pull the right target. And hopefully Easy K can peel as much as possible. But interesting comps especially from OnePunchMonk here. So on the blue team, we have Eternally Blue on the Hanzo. We have Kal-El on the Anduin, Jinji Boy on the Li Ming, Easy K on the ETC, and Shrinks on the Blaze. We have Fane on the Urel. We have Can't Get Right on the Hogger, H2O on the Diablo, Danalore on the Brightwing, and Random Task on the Genji. So much dive for red. But we will see what ends up happening with some of these camps, which happens with the waves. If red team loses one of these objectives, they might be in a little bit of trouble because clear is not their specialty, that's for sure. And race is probably not their specialty either. Slide sets up H2O there. Really good counter engage there from the ETC. ETC can W and it immediately boops the Diablo dive. So it's an interesting skill matchup. You see they stun onto the ETC and they head back out. They look for the slide on Random Task. And you see Genji's going up here and looking to gank Shrinks, but Shrinks gets out. This might allow Easy Blues to take this bottom camp here. The Genji's going to come down, but it's probably going to be a bit too late. They have the W boop for Easy K here. But there is a lot of meat they have to get through, so they're going to have to target this pretty well. They pull out, and the camp still gets taken by red team. So good job on red and using their beef and hanging on to that camp. H2O looking for Li Ming in that bush. And they're going to have to slow down this siege here. Big slide onto the Hogger. Almost a follow-up, but it's a little bit hard for the backline to get through just based on the characters. Li Ming's spells get stopped by the wave, and Hanzo kind of has to go around it with some of his abilities with the W. Up here, still pretty even. They're just checking out the camp a little bit. Easy K using the time to go back. And you see the Genji moving up, looking for another gank. Hogger taking the camp solo. And blue side looking to take there as well. Wouldn't be surprised if Eternally Blue has to back after this. But I don't think that Easy Blues is going to have to worry too much about race here. They can just get set up. They can clear pretty quick and then look to fight. And yeah, they look to clear. It's going to be tough for the red team to clear. Hogger is getting top currently though, so this is going to be a lot of top pressure. And they're looking to put some of that pressure on right now, while red is busy clearing bottom. And you see all this poke damage. Fane is going to look to dive in the back line here. Looks to dive on Eternally Blue. Stun, and there's a pullout by the Anduin, but this Immortal's already half health, and they're still going to have to clear top. So they might look to go defensive, but they get the halftime right there. Random task still a little bit low, and they're looking at Eternally Blues here. Charge on to EZK. EZK gets polyed. Random task dives in. And I'd say it's a pretty favorable spot for Easy Blues in terms of this placement right now. Hogger's going to get a lot of damage, but Li Ming can just kind of fire orbs over the wall. And Eternally Blue can do kind of the same thing. Shrinks, finishes clearing top. They look at Fane, but the objective stuns comes out. H2O getting really low. Fane jumps back in, but managed to push everybody away, and red team's going to have to spend some time clearing here. Like I said, the siege damage isn't going to be red's thing, so they're going to look to fight. But H2O goes down. Fane is looking really low. Missed stun by the Blaze. Objective looking top, and Random Task just gets out with the smallest sliver. And they're going to use this time to push opposite lane. And pushing opposite lane, honestly, is not the worst strat, because they have a lot more siege, and it's going to be a lot for red team to clear this. Because red does not have a lot of good siege damage. It's going to take a lot to clear it. They're going to end up getting probably half the fort, bottom wall, and they're up on XP too. You see Urel going up, trying to yank the Blaze, because Blaze is pressuring to try to get as much value out of this objective as possible. They're still looking at him, but Blaze managed to get out. Most of the fort goes down. Blue team is going down here. Managed to slide through, but red team's going to be hard to move off that point, especially with the Hogger spinning on it. They're probably going to have to end up giving that up. Yeah, that's not a point. It's going to be easy to invade. The Diablo can keep on hitting abilities over and over. Interesting, Diablo went auto attack build, so more of like a damage-y type build with the healing autos, and but still went spell shield on one. Top goes down to Blaze sieging in. Blaze is a lot better clear than Urel. And Easy Blue gets to kind of clear bottom while red team sieges in. Still counting 4 down here. Blaze is looking top, still brawling. And 10s are coming online for both teams. Hogger gets started on camp. Easy Blues are just clearing bottom, looking to get 10 on time. And they'll go back and look at that camp. Both teams should be 10 as soon as that wave crashes. And you're not going to have an invade on the blue side. OnePunchMonk is still up in terms of experience. And they're setting up defensively as well. Very defensive. Defensive, look to clear. They're going to look to clear bot and then invade up. EZK making sure he's got the vision on the invade. Red doesn't have a lot of siege damage or race, so they're kind of forced to back up. In the meantime, Eternally Blue takes the top camp, which is going to provide a lot more pressure. They can kind of sit here and under their own fort and make Fane go and clear this, which gives them the advantage and allows them to start racing. And there you see them move down. Fane decides to come in, drop that top, but decides against it, moves back out. Here comes the siege down from range. Gingy Boy kind of can just sit in there. A lot of damage on random task there. Can sit in that corridor there. Continue to hit the big stun on the back line. Looks for the mosh, but nobody's there. Slide to peel, but gets flipped almost into the stun. Shrinks with the peel. They look at Shrinks. Shrinks pops the bunker, but doesn't have a good side to get out on. Big slide onto Danelore. Danelore gets out just barely with the level 10. Meanwhile, this has been pushing the entire time, is going to get a lot of value, and blue is still up in terms of race. I want to see them heal up here because they're not going to win on team fights most often. Eternally Blue had to pause the game and just died. Meanwhile, the Brightwing headed back. I'm just going to switch back to map view just so we don't have much in terms of people looking at the cast. We're on a 90-second delay, but just in case. So we had Eternally Blue just come back, and we're back to in-game. So blue is down for a while. There's not a lot of race for red tide. You're going to see the Hogger spin. But there still is the option to race from Easy Blue and the Soakers here, and they do get halftime. They go for full dive on Easy K, and this is a 5-on-4 brawl. They're going to have to back up as much as they can. I know bunker's down. There is the arrow, peeling arrow. Eternally Blue comes back in, but a huge amount of damage onto Easy Blue and the Soakers, and that is going to allow them to, or allow One Punch to come back. Easy K manages to slide out, but Eternally Blue is still in, and the Genji takes them. You see Hogger on the objective. Is pretty fast for Bruiser, but there's not a lot of heroes that race quickly. See how brave that they don't have vision yet, so how brave that Easy Blue wants to set up. Gingy exposes himself every time he's going to send that orb out, which can allow Diablo to dive through, but it might be a death sentence without his team there. And you see 13, head by 13 for OnePunchMonk, and the objective is coming in. Blaze stays bottom. Urel looks to be joining, so 4-on-4 top. And pretty decent clear for OnePunchMonk. Well, we'll see. Diablo looking to engage on the side. Easy K kind of stuck in. Diablo's getting hit by the fort currently. Mosh gets interrupted. Easy K tries to slide out, but is really low. They're looking at the Anduin, and the top fort goes down. They will continue to push. Diablo goes in, looks at Eternally Blue. Oh, but just misses the orb as a counter. Eternally Blue is pressing them right now while they're all low. One Punch is going to look to take top. Is up basically 2 levels at this point. Eternally Blue is going to take as much as they can before they're down in talent here. One Punch is about to be 16. Need to get as much soak on the map as possible before this next objective phase. There's a Mosh onto 2 of them. The Anduin is on the wrong side though and gets taken down. slide onto the Diablo. Diablo really low. A lot of decent counter siege here from the blue side. Meanwhile, Blaze is trying to get 16 as quickly as possible before we have objective up, and objective still just spawns. Still a ways to go in terms of getting 16. Gonna need a bunch more waves at this point. And everything's pushed pretty far. Easy K providing vision. Gonna have that camp taken by One Punch here. Eternally Blue looking to get some damage off and gets out right away. And red team looks to try to get as much damage done as they can. Blue is looking to defend and to soak out to 16. Oh, they look for the arrow, but the arrow whiffs. Diablo looking at the back line. Easy K with the W that peels them. And there's halftime. 16s are about to come online. They might look at this Blaze here up top. Yep, Blaze is on an island a little bit. He is running. And there's a lot of places he can run here. So they start to race. Blaze is entirely out of the fight though right now. Big damage onto Diablo. Diablo plants the APOC, goes in the back line, looks at Gingy Boy. Mosh gets interrupted by the Urel. They look at Shrinks on the back line. Can't get right. Super low. Easy K finishes him off with the light bomb. Oh, the pull over the wall before the flip. And the arrow. Danalor has to go back. No mana. Can Z back in. And we have a game right now. Red is trying to get off as much of this objective as possible, but they are split. Diablo is getting blown up. Random Task looking to finish off the objective, but isn't the fastest clear. Eternally Blue looking to get as much as possible. It'd be interesting to see how they split here defensively. Shrinks is looking to get as defensive as possible. And yeah, they all in for this objective. I think Diablo's souls are gone at this point as well. Easy K almost going down. Goes down. Anduin. They're looking at Shrinks as well, who's kind of stuck out there. Objective is going to go bot, and this is going to be a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, catapults are going top. That's a lot of damage on top. And looks like red team might look to finish it. They're going to go for the kill and to guarantee top. Maybe look to end. Blue doesn't have much to jump over here. Jumps to the other side. Feign gets taken out. Huge arrow. Wow. And then, so the top keep goes down. Bottom keep looks like it might be able to get defended here. Depends on if any of this backline gets dove here. They're going to look for it. Yep. Oh, but the Mosh, they get a chance to clear. They get to choose between clearing and looking past. The ping is going on to the objective. They have time to clear it just before the keep goes down. Meanwhile, Hoggers and bottom doing bottom camp, doing Hogger things. I think Blue knows this, and they're running at it. And One Punch decides to thinks better of it and gets out. Easy Blue and the Soakers is going to be pushing down bottom. Probably confirm this bottom fort here, while One Punch looks to take out the camp.
Blue team has destroyed a fort.
Stun onto Urel. Force Urel to pop their ult. Meanwhile, Blaze has been taking top. And Eternally Blue and the Soakers is going to look to take 10. One Punch, though, is looking to wrap them. They know they're up here. They just saw the camp taken. They're running to try to take a 20 fight. But EZK is super deep. And really good APOC. And then they push back into the stun there. Gingy Boy looks to get out as much as possible. Blue just has to live here. And there's the pull. The bunker. Diablo going in again. Oh, Shrinks just misses with that stun. Their tank is down for another 35 seconds. And they might look at this camp, but it can get invaded. Looks like One Punch is going to use this time to race. And they do have 20s. And there's the race. ETC will be back up here in a second. Blue team is looking to clear these 3 catapults top. And there is a big wave bottom that's getting cleared as well. Here's the race from red team. Blue team has to go kind of all in here to try to defend. They get the slide and the instant blow up on the Hogger. They look at the Diablo. Light bomb onto... Oh, Danalord manages to dodge it, but huge arrow. H2O is dead. They look at Fane. Fane has the unstoppable, but is just getting chunked down. And they have time. They have the siege damage, and this might be game. Interesting, they might not be going all in. You've got Eternally Blue going on the objective. And yeah, I'd say maybe a little bit of split calls here, but they are going to get the objective top. There is so much pressure on top and bottom. There's double catapults bottom. There is 2 catapults top. They're going to get this objective. Objective is going to go top here. Red team doesn't have a lot to defend it in terms of their counter siege, but they definitely have all the team fight. So they're going to look to get set up beforehand, but Easy Blue is backing up and clearing first. They need to establish vision here. So you see EZK go, and I think that interrupted the jump from the Urel. Urel with the absorb. Light bomb goes off, but Urel gets out. There's the Z on the Diablo. Diablo uses Hellgate to get out. Can't get right. Getting low. Double stun onto the backline. And this is going to be a lot of damage onto that keep. This keep is going to go down. There's a huge wave going bot. Diablo looks to re-engage again. We'll see if Eternally Blue wants to try to finish, but they decide better of it. A lot of pressure now. Now Easy Blue is up in terms of structure, and they decided to take the camp. apply some more pressure, and they'll go probably top to get this camp as well. So this is going to come down to one big team fight. And yeah, a lot for the red team for OnePunchMonk to clear right now. These waves are going to build up. They're not going to clear as fast as the blue team, and there's going to be a lot of pressure. So blue team is going to have the option on what they want to do. They could even stall this if they want. They can take it, just not cap it, just sit on it. They choose to take it right now to apply even more pressure. You see all lanes are getting pushed right now, and they're going to look to maybe set up a bush gank here.
Be wary. Our eternal battle will soon be upon.
But I think you can expect at least Easy Blue to start with a race. There's a lot still to clear. They don't want to. Oh, big stun, big slide, big mosh. The Hogger is going hog wild on everything. Eternally Blue just gets out, gets pulled, but Hanzo goes down. Fane is going back in on the back line. They're looking at Fane again. Fane with the jump, but doesn't go over the wall fully. And now there's the absorb as well. That ult is down. So it would be interesting. Looks like Easy Blue is looking to defend. They have Jinji Boy start to race. There still is a bunch of pressure top and bottom, and not a lot of race for One Punch. But they do have the talent advantage. They definitely need to start running at them now that their lanes are kind of cleared. And Easy Blue is just going to back off. They know that the race is pretty low, and they have quite a bit of time. They're going to wait until that Hanzo gets back up with that arrow. And they look to put on more pressure bottom, take this bottom camp. Top is starting to get pushed in with the waves, and that's going to be even more pressure. Here comes Hanzo back in. They're looking. Red team is split, but here's the Z, the big mosh. Two go down. Big stun onto Random Task. Random Task X strikes out, but gets killed anyway. H2O dies, and Fane is kind of left unto himself, and then gets taken down as well. Diablo as Souls comes back up, but usually there's your last people. You kind of want damage to take out as much people as possible, and you see all the damage is going on core this time. They look at the Diablo. Diablo comes in, tries to do as much as he can, but is going to go down. And there's all the souls. And good job by Easy Blue and the Soakers. Really, really tight game. There's times it could have gone either way, but a couple various team fights force that game. So GG for both teams. And I'll see if I can get an interview. Yeah, in terms of damage, you see the backline. The only really range damage, or real range damage, Hanzo and Li Ming doing the most, but a lot of kills from the red side. And then, of course, siege damage, Blaze, Urel, Li Ming, Hogger. Healing, Danalore with a ton of healing, Anduin with a bunch too. Brightwing was getting a lot of heals off on that tanky front line. So, really good one. I'm going to go and update this to There we go. And we'll see if anybody wants to join me. So good job by Easy Blue and the Soakers. Yeah, I'm going to be joined by one of the members of Easy Blue in a second here. Let's see. Let's try this one. Hey, sorry about that.
Good.
Oh, that was kind of a sweaty one.
Yeah, that was one of the tougher ones of the season, I think.
Yeah, and there was a lot of interesting comps that you guys had to play into over those 3 games.
Those were tough.
Yeah, like game 1 was the hypercarry Vala with the I believe it was the Uther and Stukov with like a double bruiser as well, and that was an interesting one. You guys were going for like a 1-1-3. It looked like.
Yeah, we were gonna try because with the double support with the Uther Sonya Stukov combo, it's really hard to fight in that bottom lane, and so we figured we'd just try to macro them out. It didn't really work out. We were all over the place. It was too tough to deal with that combo. We didn't macro well enough, but I think we came back in those second 2 games.
Yeah, it was also going to be, I think, a little bit difficult for you guys pre-10 before you guys got your all your CC online as well, because they had a point and click stun with the silence, and yeah, that was going to be rough. And then the AOE D shield at the end was kind of a surprise as well.
Yeah, I should have known that was coming with the wind tunnel. That was really good by them. It was a great pick.
But game 2, you guys got back on the horse. You got they picked a hammer, but you were able to counter it with the Tassadar, and you were getting a lot of damage done on that hammer in the back line.
Yeah, for sure. The Tass was a great pick. The Varian was a great pick. And then the W build Val ended up working out great too, because she was able to poke from a safe distance and hit all of them.
Yeah, I found that like early on in the game, the Johanna was the back line is so far back that Johanna had to pressure so far up into you guys to even get the gems, because the gems were just getting cleared so far from their team that Johanna was trying to put herself into like some weird spots to go pick them up. And then you guys had really timely turn-ins as well. I don't think they ended up getting more than a couple walls down by the end, and the turn-in timing was really good.
For sure. Tomb's one of our favorite maps. We've got those spider timings down really well. We really like our rotations on that map as well. It's something we've practiced in scrims a lot, and our shot caller loves it.
And then the last game was probably the hairiest of the bunch. You guys had like a classic, I'd say pretty much classic comp for that type of map with it's a good racing backline, while their comp was absolutely crazy. What were you thinking when you saw their comp after the draft?
Honestly, we weren't focused too much on them. We were focused on our own game plan and how we were going to do the game. And in hindsight, probably would have been better to look more at what they could do to us, especially on those camp invades. We kept trying it, and we just didn't have it down because that Hogger caused too many problems. We also were just a little all over in the team fights early on, but in the end, we finally started to figure it out and get our stride.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot more interesting if they had at least one hyper carry or one racer, because they were just, even when they were winning fights, they were struggling to race down the objective, even in the late game. But were you guys really feeling it when you had a bunch down, and they were going for core. I think they went opposite to the objective they just won and went top. And I think the Urel got picked, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was honestly really lucky. I thought for sure they were going to be able to end there, get a pick, but luckily all of us had really good saves, stopped their engage, and I got a really lucky combo on the Urel. She got chunked. The rest of their team got pretty chunked by the Hanzo, and they had to back off. That was I think that was the biggest turning point in the game.
Yeah, and they didn't actually have that much, like, they don't have much siege damage in general, so ending the game, they had to kill you. So once they didn't kill you, it was going to be difficult for them to end either way.
Yeah.
So any shout outs you want to give? Any comments on the games that we missed?
I just want to give a shout out to you. Always appreciate the casts. Thank you very much. And then shout out to my team. It's our first season. We're going really strong, undefeated so far. I hope the trend continues. And that's it.
Yeah, congratulations. I think you guys are undefeated in terms of series so far. Not in terms of map, but in terms of series, and are still up in first place. And the most responsible team playing their flex maxed early.
Yeah, Blue likes to get those done as quick as possible.
Yeah. So I want to congratulate you and the rest of the team. And yeah, hopefully you get to cast another one of your guys' games later in the season.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. So we have Easy Blues and the Soakers taking a 2-1 really close final match. In fact, like those, especially map 1 and map 3 were super close. Big shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight and watched these games. They were definitely a lot of fun. That last match was hairy as anything, and yeah, it could have turned either way. So thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you guys